Horrible demonstration.
You gotta remember the best ones left. Tar, Chuck, Abba, a lot of the best Nuwaubians left.
Yes, exactly.
Because they woke up.
Yes.
Now you got all the has-beens and all the chitlins left. So these are scraps.
True peace, everybody. It's Queeraoopoo, and I'm back with another video. This video is in response to the previous clip that we just watched. So Earl Dakins, he's apparently feeling salty again. This guy gets blocked, make new pages. He gets blocked on Facebook. He gets blocked on YouTube. He gets blocked everywhere and just makes more and more and more pages just to reach out to NoopooHs who have no interest in making conversation with ignorance and religion. Okay, so he says if the best Nuwaubians are left, why are they not on the same page knowledge-wise? He says, see moron, he's referencing Chuck Morgan. It's not a so-called Nooniboo, neither is Lord Abba. Why? Because you don't need to be a Nooniboo to see that your cult leader was a liar, a thief, pedophile. Not only that, he's a deadbeat. It's so many things. And he's never coming home. Let's add that in there. So this is a conversation between Earl Dakins and Tar Kinu. So Tar says, true peace, once again, you asked irrelevant questions. York admitted he was an Amanubi Rakata, and y'all overlooked that.
Yeah, man.
And don't some of them say that he's not even incarcerated for the 135?
Yeah, they sick. Can you see both?
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the name of the book, The Harvest, on the right. And I put it in red. Look what it say. He said, so they saw, 173, I'm going to read it. They saw at the year 2000 AD that what I began to teach was unlike any other black leader, which is a lie. So they watched and waited to see if it was Wu Sabat. York was not talking about no Wu Sabat back then. They knew about, look, Nuwaubu of who? Afro Unu. Even though they spelt it wrong, he gave credit to Afro Unu was bringing Nuwaubu. So all these years, they've been saying they brought Nuwaubu and they're Nuwaubian. Y'all been following the wrong individual.
Leaving a cult is the smartest thing, no matter which one it is. Noon is a science, not a cult. Y'all include a religion or supported by bottom half ethers 3 to 6. Don't invite yourself to my DMs asking me questions and avoiding my questions. Noon doesn't recruit, religions do. We are proving that NoopooH is the most intelligent, not no human or spirit. You worrying about Chuck Morgan not being a Nooniboo, but y'all are the ones trying to USURP the nature books. Y'all trying to be unnamed Nooniboos when we showed y'all Nebu was the word from Nuwaubu, and that's why we are called Neeboos. And that's true, because I just seen a post from a Nuwaubian, I believe it was a day or two ago, and he keeps making all of these Nuwaubian garbs and hats, and every time he posts about it, he puts the word Noon there. We have no association with your religious outfits. And these, I don't know what type of hats these are. I have no idea, but we have no association with any of that. So here is the page that I was referencing, and his name is Harar Amun. I believe I've seen this Nuwaubian probably once or twice. I don't know why he always looks so airbrushed with these AI photos. Here he goes, right here. We don't have no association with any of these outfits, any of the hats, any of these things. All right, go back to the main point. So here he has a hat. I don't know what the inspiration behind these hats are. I don't get it, but moving forward. He says the Nubian Qatar royal crown is a masterpiece of ceremonial artistry created for kings, visionaries, and guardians of tradition. That he puts Noon there. We ain't got nothing to do with the science. Noon has nothing to do with this, nor would it support making or wearing garbs that represent a cult. All right. So here he's on the image here. It says Nubian Quibtic Tabernacle. So because I'm not into the Arabic language and that's not really my area, So I looked up what Quibtic means. And it says Quibtic, also spelled Quibti or Quibit, is an Arabic term that means Egyptian or Copt, historically used by Arab speakers to describe the native Christian people of Egypt and their unique language and culture. So here we go back to religion yet again. Noon has no association with this. So it says historical origins and meaning, linguistic root. The word comes from the Arabic quibit, which evolved from the Greek word Egyptos, meaning Egyptian. Shift in meaning. After the 7th century Arab conquest of Egypt, the term Quibti came to specifically refer to indigenous Christian population of the region who kept their religious traditions distinct from the incoming Islamic majority. With that being said, this has nothing to do with the Ethiopian, African, or black race, and is religious. So it says, usage in related terms, the Coptic people refers to the Christian ethno-religious community native to Egypt. The Coptic language, the final historical phase of the ancient Egyptian language written using a modified Greek alphabet, which is now preserved primarily as the liturgical language of the Coptic Orthodox Church. So Earl, you need to respond to that too. That's one of your followers. That's one of the people standing on the side with York. He's representing Christianity here and a non-black race of people, which is Arabs. So he says that the name of this hat is the Nubian Qatar Royal Crown. So I looked up the word Qatar. So it says Qatar primarily means an Arabian or traditional lute-like stringed instrument similar to a guitar, but it can also refer to recycling in Malay or an ancient Greek string instrument. So he is naming a hat something that is similar to a stringed instrument from Arabia or Greece. Okay, let's keep reading. It says, derived from the Arabic word qitar. Qitar is an older or alternative term for an Arabian guitar of four-course lute, ancient kithara. It shares etymological roots with the ancient Greek kithara, a professional 7-string plucked instrument of the lyre family. Typo context. It is frequently a misspelling or phonetic spelling for guitar, keytar, a shoulder-slung electronic keyboard, or qatar, an Indian push dagger. In the Malay language, in Malay and Indonesian. Nothing African about this, as you can see. Qatar means to cycle, rotate, or recur, as in qatar semula, which means recycling. So the name of the hat alone makes no logical sense. Please do not associate this with Noon science, NoopooH, or anything of the sort. Moving forward. Tar says, y'all have been tricked. Nob is the Nubian word for gold and York was wrong. I'm sure you watched my live with Chuck proving y'all followed a lie that Nuwabe root was Arabic, Noob was incorrect. York changed the P in NoopooH because there is no P in Arabic. Look it up. York told many lies and we prove a NoopooH exposed NoopooH and Nebu in the hieroglyphs in 2015 and y'all stole the information and put it in y'all book.
In the Conversation War Times, we're going to go to a post that I did April 27, 2021. It was on Prince York versus Brother Jabari in 2017 when the Sabians had shown on Black News 102, right, Sarnetta, aka Filthy Frank. They never told Sarnetta they stole a NoopooH research, a Nunaboo from 2015 to 2016, research on the origin of NoopooH from his Facebook page a whole year earlier. This information is being rehashed because a follower of Dwight David York / Dr. Malachi Z York / Baba Yanoon, named Tahaka Nicole L, whose book cover is inside this post. The point is to remind the New Cope members why they don't use the word NoopooH as loudly as before.
I want to give a big shout out to all who have taken time out of their life to correct the lives of the mentally dead and outright stupid who are merely slaves of 6 ether and 3 ether versus sound right reason. I and those with me specifically dedicate the rest of our lives to NoopooH and Noom. We are only concerned with facts and the evidence and the mental resurrection of our people, true mental calm, peace, and wartime. All right, so right here is a picture that came off of Black News 102. All right, when Sarnetta had a fake debate between Jabari and Prince York at Jabari's brownstone in Harlem. Now, the whole thing was ridiculous. Frankie was holding his hand and coddling him. Jabari was allowing it, because when you watch the video, and I'm gonna show y'all, and this name of the video on Sarnetta page, you can see September the 15th, right here at the bottom, 2017. Prince York versus Jabari Osazi, when two worlds collide, Nawapian versus Comedic Science Part 2. If you go watch both of these, especially Part 2, Prince York is reading from a publication that York and his followers from the Brooklyn bookstore put together. Who does that? When you're doing a debate, you're supposed to be able to freestyle and or use information from your brain, and you look at notes, or you use a book when you're citing something for a particular thing, and then you move on. Prince York, number one, has no stage presence. He's not a debater. He's not even a self-taught debater. And Frankie let this dude read most of the time that they was in Jabari's house. And again, because he was playing along with Frankie wearing kid gloves. All right, so right here, this is what he says. Another pre-dynastic city in our great empire was only a few miles from Napata, this ancient city known as Nakada, which is an Arabic term for critics or judges. The Medinetta Harafat translation is Nubu, gold. Nebu or Noob, once again applying to the same interchangeable sequence of vowels. NWB becomes Nuwubu, or commonly known as Nuwabe or NoopooH, our culture and something of our life. Again, remember, this is 2017. All right, everything that he's saying, he took it from NoopooH's research. All right, so we just took this out of the book. Again, go watch the video and you will see where this came from. And any of those people who got the old books, which I got, which I'm gonna show you, it's a bunch of lies, because York never defined the word Nuwubu or NoopooH from what he's saying. All right, only the new dummies believe this. All right, so we just pointed that out. All right, so now here, this is a NoopooH's Facebook page, right? I screenshot it. As you can see, it says 2016. All right, and here he just says, so now in closing, the word NoopooH or NoopooH comes from the root word Nubu, which means gold in ancient Egypt. In plural form, only the sun god Re can represent golds and bring NoopooH, NoopooH, or Noom forth. Let this be remembered, always let it be known. So this 2016, all right, and you can see when he went to the Medinetta translator and he put in the word gold, the word noob and stuff come up. Noob means gold. This 2016. So again, we go back to where Prince York was at. This is what they put in their book that they released in 2017. Again, following and stealing. This is what they do. All right, so we're just making that point. All right, so we're going to go a little further. I think it gets clearer. Yeah, see? Right here, when you went to, I don't think this is on the net no more, but it says Egyptian hieroglyph translator, right? See the word noob, right? Again, it's September the 11th, 2016, and that's on the 9, right? Nub, gold. Nub, noob means gold. Naboo. See, NBW, goals, right? And they got all these, you know, for the hieroglyph 12, S12 hieroglyph, D50 hieroglyph, G43 hieroglyph, Z2 hieroglyph, S12 hieroglyph, N33 hieroglyph, Z2 hieroglyph, like that. So these different variations where you find the word Noob, MBW, as far as how they got it in the hieroglyph as they got them numbered and lettered. All right, and this is how it comes out in the Egyptian translator. So you got all this right here. See, this is in the hieroglyph translator. All right, so I'm just proving to you that a Newt had already put this information out, but we were doing this again for educational purposes.
We got it documented with Prince York debating Jabari and lost. The pattern is clear who's following who. I'm the last person you should be questioning since I'm the main one debunking your copycat cult. I just exposed where York got that 7th seal crap from in 1970. It's on my Facebook since you want to watch my every move. So here is the post about the 7 seals that Tar was originally talking about in the previous clip. So he posted on July 27, cult members come to the front. Ask Sabians, Nuwabians, did they know York stole and remixed his 7th seal was broken in 1970 from a Caucasian named Hale Lindsey and another Caucasian cult called Universal Council Movement ran by Amy Ray Elkins, who said the world was ending because the comet Bennett was the opening of the 7th seal. Let's see these dummies escape this one. Right, let's go through the images. So this is in York's book. It says the stars, which were the 29 comets sighted, signaling the opening of the 7th seal in 1970 AD, especially Bennett on March 16, 1970 AD, and Halley's comet last seen in 1986 AD. And this is how astronomers logged it. The year 1970 was a record year. There were 29 comets observed. There were 5 new near parabolic and 2 new periodic comets. 11 recoveries of periodic comets, 2 comets from 1968 and 1969. 4 of these comets were naked eye objects. 1970 will be remembered for a spectacular object comet called Bennett 1970. So this is the Bennett comet that York is referencing. This is who he stole it from. Here's also the book that he stole that information from. Here is the copyrights for that book that York stole from. Context with 1970 and Comet Bennett. Signs of the End. Published right as Comet Bennett lit up the spring 1970 skies. The text tied contemporary world events and natural phenomena to biblical end time signs. The Generation Prophecy. The book famously suggested that Christ's return might happen within one generation, defined as 40 years of the 1967 rebirth of Israel, leading many readers to calculate a target end date of 1988. The religious organization you are referring to is the Association of Universal Philosophy, sometimes referred to in historical legal contexts as the United Council. The Comet Bennett Connection. The arrival date. The movement's foundation is tied to March 25, 1970, the exact time Comet Bennett reached its peak naked eye brightness and passed closest to Earth. The spiritual channeling. The group teaches that as the comet illuminated the sky, higher spiritual messengers, known collectively as AKA, arrived on Earth. They began channeling prophecy through an unconscious trance medium named Ray Elkins in Globe, Arizona. The prophecy. When asked directly about the relationship between Comet Bennett and their arrival, the entity stated that the comet was a divine celestial sign meant to prepare a way for the coming of the Messiah. Beliefs after 1970. In the decades following the comet's appearance, the Association of a Universal Philosophy actively transcribed Elkin's trances into a body of work called the Universal Philosophy. The core prophecies focus on prepping humanity for a new messianic age, global spiritual unity, and navigating major Earth changes such as shifting planetary axes and climate upheavals. The preparation for the coming of the Messiah, part 1 of 3, the 1970-1973 messages spoken by the spiritual messengers of God, Aka, on the coming of the Messiah. So this is just showing that this was not York's original idea. So I would suggest everybody, refer to this post in our Facebook group. So here is who A. Ray Elkins is right here. Another Caucasian individual. And it says Elkins was a man living in Globe, Arizona. According to the group's history, he suffered severe injuries in a 1965 accident. During a near-death experience, he was given a spiritual choice to return to his body to share a divine gift. The channeled voice, beginning on April 3rd, 1970, overlapping with the peak visibility of Comet Bennett, Elkins began entering unconscious trances. A collective spiritual voice calling itself Aka, or AKA the spiritual messengers of God, began speaking through him. So until you answer the questions I left under Kush Charles Williams Agee video, stop hitting me up when y'all are the guilty party. Make it make sense. How the thieves ask the victims questions. Good day, elder. Stop harassing us. You are on the wrong side. Next, Earl asks, why didn't John Eugene Brown, who was Afro-Unu, ever speak against the master? Tar says, shaking my head, why did the master lie about being Amanubi Rakata? You still stuck on defending York is insane. Do you recognize York's wrong in faking someone else's identity? Yes or no? If York stole this man's stuff and didn't say anything, does that make what York did right? Plenty of people get wronged and someone else steps up and talks for them. Does that clear the wrong? This is why talking to you makes no sense. Unless you answer the real questions, you're about to be blocked on the basis of ignoring the facts, sir. I'd advise you think before responding. I'm being respectful, and if you can't answer or know why York did it, it's better than questioning me about why Afro-Unu / John Eugene Brown was did wrong by your teacher. That's like Debo on Friday robbing the block and asking why you keep getting robbed. Shaking my head. Final warning. So Earl says, there are many books and audio of the master stating he is Amanubi. So he says, notes from classes, Baba, Avatara, Yanun. What? So looking at Earl's previous text, it says 0 time reference. So we're going to look into where York got that phrase 0 time reference from. So it says, I want you to align the 0 time reference to others before who use that term. Aligning the phrase 0 time reference reveals a fascinating trail. Dwight York, Baba, Avatara, Yanun. And I looked up what Avatara means, and it means like descent in Sanskrit, or it means like somebody that embodies a philosophy or something. So to continue on, it says, aligning the phrase 0 time reference reveals a fascinating trail. Dwight York, Baba, Avatara, Yanun did not invent the phrase. Instead, he adapted a highly specific piece of mid-20th century military radar engineering and fringe science mythology, transforming it into a spiritual and metaphysical law. The chronological evolution of this term, tracing how it mutated from a physical radar setting into the Nuwaubian cosmological doctrine, is outlined below. The engineering origin in the 1940s. Radar and Nikola Tesla. In standard electrical engineering and radar development during World War II, a 0 time reference was a purely physical necessity. The concept, when a radar dish sends out a pulse, the machine must log the exact microsecond the pulse leaves the antenna. This point is calibrated as t = 0, the 0 time reference. The radar then measures how long it takes for the echo to bounce back against the baseline to calculate distance. The Fringe Connection. In an alternative history and fringe science lore, Nikola Tesla and mathematician John von Neumann were allegedly hired by the US government to adapt this radar technology for the Philadelphia experiment, Project Rainbow, in 1943. The lore claims they built a physical machine called a zero-time reference generator, nicknamed the Whirligig. Its purpose was to lock the experimental ship, the USS Eldridge, to the Earth's magnetic baseline so it wouldn't drift out of our reality when it turned invisible. 2. The science fiction and UFO lore ship, 1992, Preston Nichols and Al Bielek. In 1992, authors Preston Nichols and Al Bielek published the Montauk Project's Experiments in Time. They took Tesla's alleged radar concept and applied it to human biology for the first time. Their definition: Nichols and Bielek claim that every human being is born with a biological zero-time reference stamped into their genetic and spiritual matrix at conception. They argued this reference acts as a cosmological anchor connecting the soul to the Earth's time stream. The danger: they claim that if a person travels through time or an artificial electromagnetic vortex, their biological zero-time reference is severed. Without it, a person experiences severe disorientation, rapid aging, or physical dissolution because they are no longer anchored to a specific timeline. The esoteric, metaphysical peak Baba Avatara Yanun, Dwight York. When Dwight York adapted the term into his prison-era teachings as Yanun, he stripped away the military sci-fi flavor and elevated it into a profound cosmological and moral philosophy. By comparing his usage directly to the sci-fi lore that preceded him, the philosophical shift becomes clear. Okay, it says feature. What is it? The Montauk lore, Nichols Bielek, the Nuwapian doctrine, Yanun, a biological magnetic anchor to the Earth's specific time matrix, and according to the York, is an absolute point of origin, inception, or originating from pure primordial darkness. Time. The nature of time. Time is a physical stream or tunnel that can be traveled through mechanically. According to York, the physical time is an illusion. Set time or fake time bounded tightly between life and death. The state before t equals 0, non-applicable. And for York, universal, unpolarized existence before cause and effect, good, evil, or chaos. The whole point is York did not invent that phrase. He's trying to push it and turn it into something that is not, and dealing with its origin. What York is doing, it has nothing to do with one another. The synthesis. Your class notes capture Yanun's brilliant inversion of the fringe trope, where the sci-fi writers feared losing the zero-time reference because it would unanchor them from physical reality. Yanun teaches that physical reality is the actual trap. To him, the zero-time reference is a snapshot of the divine moment. You were pulled out of the eternal unified darkness, real time, and forced into a localized fragile human capsule governed by the laws of set time. The whole point of this whole thing is York stole it. Okay, it says each individual conceived has a zero-time reference from the moment of inception, the moment or incident in pure and holy darkness, before cause and effect, before right and wrong, good and evil, before chaos and conception, before process or growth in unpure and unholy light of this world, where there is will, good and evil things happening. That point is real time, and each individual's existence in the physical world from conception is fake time. You exist in what's called set time. You set the time from life to death. It all exists before you and will exist after you. You in your life is only a point or short space in real time, which exists in all. When the light of life is cut on, it becomes real time, yet existence was already in pure and holy darkness and under set time. This has nothing to do with what is originally being spoken about. It has nothing to do with it. Off topic. So Tar's response to this was, that's not the point. York wrote 2 letters I have saying he wasn't the Amanubi Rakata that wrote the BIAE and Nambo. You do know he wrote that. It was a lie is the point. I'm done, sir. Every time we get to something he himself said or wrote, you veer off the topic. I'm asking a direct question many times, no one seems to answer. Since 1991, he's been claiming the title. He, since being in jail, said he wasn't. You must choose which is true, and that's crazy to do so. We have evidence he's not. That's y'all burden. Goodbye, sir. You can't use reason.